Hello everyone, Moramika here and welcome back to part 2 of Cerwiden. Okay, so she said something about a library last time we spoke to her, and I was right about it being the Arcanium. We need to meet a scholar here, and he's usually here after 8 o'clock in the morning. So we're just gonna wait an hour.
Your Arcanium is so lovely and quiet.
I see.
Don't fret, my friend acquaintance.
Got one of those bard songs stuck in my head. Get out! Get out!
Oh, there he is. Now you just need to wait
Restoration is a perfectly valid
for her to initiate a conversation.
Don't let anyone tell you otherwise.
I believe I recognize that fellow over there. Aren't you Sinomilus? I recognize you from a portrait in one of your books I read at the Temple of Dawnbliss.
I'm Cerwiden, historian and scholar. You have the aura of the Justice Maker about you. You're quite a long way from home, Priestess of Dawnbliss.
I'm Cerwiden, Priestess of Dawnbliss from the temple in Baksha. I particularly enjoyed your treatise on the Lords of Law. It's a seminal work.
And now you've piqued my curiosity, Priestess Cerwiden. What brings you so far from Bakshan?
My temple sent me to investigate the growing influence of the Chaos Lords in Skyrim. It can't be a coincidence that you're also in Skyrim.
I see. I'm investigating lore for a book I'm writing on Lord of Chaos, but also notice growing signs of chaos since arriving. I'm sure you've heard the stories about Winterhold summoning the Chaos Lords as a last resort to combat plague all those years ago. I'd like to find specific evidence that separates fact from hearsay. So far, I've not found any involvement from the Chaos Lords. With all respect, Priestess, that's a dangerous path. I hope you have capable protection. I presume you're helping Priestess Cerwiden on her task?
How are you, Travis?
What do you want?
You said earlier you were a historian?
I'm a historian of the cosmic balance, the force that binds together all living things.
Well then.
I study aspects of lords of the higher worlds, whether they be called divines, Daedric princes, or other names. My focus of late has been the Lords of Chaos. I've written 3 books on the topic.
You mentioned something about Winterhold and the Chaos Lords?
As you know, Winterhold was not always the minor hold capital it is today. It was a bustling city that rivaled even Solitude. Winterhold was the beacon of higher learning in Skyrim, with students from every nation and city-state seeking admission. It was said, many years ago, that one student brought with him a plague that decimated Winterhold. The plague spread like wildfire, and many city districts were quarantined to prevent the disease from spreading. Because of the plague, trade with the city almost stopped entirely, essentially cutting off needed supplies. Even though only certain districts were quarantined, merchant ships instead went to Windhelm.
Oh, yes, thank you.
Merchant caravans simply avoided Winterhold entirely, lest they be turned away from other cities as plague carriers.
I don't understand what this has to do with the Chaos Lords.
Prayers to the divines went unanswered, as did those to the Daedric princes. Even prayers to the Lords of Law did not lift the plague. In desperation, it has been said that Winterhold called upon the Lords of Chaos as a last resort. Rumor has it that Lord of Chaos intervened, but, as in the way of chaos, prayers may not be answered in the expected or desired manner. Indeed, Mabelode supposedly sent a storm so fierce that it sent most of the city crashing into the Sea of Ghosts. And because the college still stood in the calamity's aftermath, many in Skyrim remained skeptical of the college.
I've heard many stories about Winterhold's fall. Any proof of Chaos involvement?
Not yet, no. I've been unable to determine veracity of the legends.
You mentioned books you've written.
2 volumes have already been published and are quite popular in Priestess Cerwiden's homeland. Here, however, my works have been outlawed as heresy by the Thalmor, so you won't find them in any libraries. The first volume gives some background into the primary Chaos Lords. The second volume covers the rules set forth by the cosmic balance associated with earthly manifestations of the Lords. The final volume discusses how to summon the Lords of Chaos from their home plane of existence into this realm.
Would you happen to have copies I can take to read?
I have copies of the first 2 volumes I can give to you. Here you go. I have not published the 3rd volume, as it's not complete. I'd also been having second thoughts about publishing it. That sort of knowledge is simply too dangerous, and would upset the balance in this world.
Okay. Why do you say that? There are numerous summoning spells taught at the college.
Yes, animals, elementals, and other lesser beings. How many mages are able to summon the divines or Daedric princes at will? As a case in point, my most recent draft of Volume 3 was stolen shortly after my arrival. I of course filed a complaint with the college, but magical scrying indicated that the thief was not of the college. I still can't fathom how anyone knew I was here, much less to steal that particular volume. So much for the college's so-called security from outsiders. In any case, it's obvious that the thief knew exactly what to take, as nothing else was missing. And as our astute young priestess has already noted, her investigation and my stolen tome cannot be mere coincidence.
Do you have any information from your stolen volume that may help us?
I have an earlier draft of Volume 3 I can give to you. It also has some of my notes interspersed. If you have additional questions after reviewing what I've given you, come back and see me.
Alright,
Until we
let's
meet again.
take a look at these books. And I'll probably read them. Probably. The Chaos Pantheon, Volume 1, Volume 2, and Volume 3. The Chaos Pantheon, Volume 1, by Sonal Milas, Historian of the Balance. Many have offered blood and souls to the Lords of the Darks over millennia in return for their patronage. But with the fall of the Bright Empire and the advent of the young kingdoms, the worship of the Chaos Lords have fallen before those embracing new deities, while debate continues over primacy of pantheons, and even with vagaries of religion, none truly believe that the Chaos Lords would simply abandon interest in our world. The Lords of Chaos are known also as the Lords of Chance, and have been known throughout history to inflict deliberate pain and suffering on mortals for their own amusement and enjoyment. Nonetheless, some of the most powerful and evil tyrants in history have worshipped and sought to summon the Lords in furtherance of their own agendas, as the Lords of Law are represented with a single arrow pointing to the heavens, representing singular purpose and sincerity. The symbol of chaos shows 8 arrows emanating outwards from a single point, representing chance and uncertainty. The predominant worshippers of the Lords of Chaos were the aristocracy of the fallen Bright Empire of Melnibone. Yeah, I looked up that word. It actually is Melnibone, because I listened to some audiobooks by the author. There's supposed to be an accent mark in there that I guess wasn't available in the construction kit. A cruel race. A cruel race. It comes to no surprise that powerful Melnibians entered into pacts with the Chaos Lords, thereby increasing their worldly power in exchange for their very souls. The decline of Melnibian influence over the years including significant reduction in trade with other nations and what the Melniboeans called the Young Kingdoms resulted in diminished worship of chaos. It has been said that Melnibones fall so weaken the Chaos Lords that they may no longer see into our realm, much less interfere with our affairs. But the Edict of Balance would tell us otherwise. The Chaos Lords cannot be destroyed, and therefore must remain and may always be summoned to return. As the humble historian of the cosmic balance, it is my duty to persevere or preserve the knowledge of the Chaos Lords to the annals of history, and should they turn their gaze once more upon our lands, it is my hope that such knowledge may be of benefit in maintaining the balance of law and chaos, as no world may progress in the absence of either of the lords of the higher worlds. This first volume offers background into the lords of chaos and those prime among them. Ariok. Ariok is one of the most powerful dukes of hell, and his was the greatest influence of all the Chaos Lords within our realm. While his influence and worship have declined significantly over the past 1,000 years, he remains as the preeminent force associated with chaos. It has been said that the last emperor of Melniboné, Elric, also calls Ariok his patron, and has been the only person able to summon Ariok to our world in hundreds of years. This is, of course, speculation and conjecture. Few openly mention Ariok by name and instead refer to him by his most common titles: Lord of the Seven Darks, Knight of Swords, or Lord of the Higher Hell. When summoned to our realm, Ariok is most often reported to appear as a handsome youth with only his eyes revealing his true nature. He, along with Ziambarg and Mabelode, is one of the most powerful Chaos Lords. Ziambarg. Ziambarg most often appears as a beautiful young woman, but has been known to change forms as it suits her. Known also as the Queen of Swords, Ziambarg is second only to Ariok in her propensity to interfere in the affairs of her worshippers, and often with unpredictable results. Most of Ziambarg's faithful have been from the sorcerous Isle of Pantang, which in recent years has sought to recreate itself as the new Melniboné, including following in the traditions of the Emerald Isle in its pacts with chaos. And because Melniboné sought favor with Ariok, Pantang opted to adopt Ziambarg as the primary patron, but to date it has been said that the preeminent sorcerer and scholar of Pantang, Thalib, was it Karna? Yeah, Karna, has attempted to call Ziambarg as his personal patron out of his enmity for Elric and out of his well-known blood feud against the albino emperor. Whether this is mere rumor or truth is unknown at present. Mabelode. Mabelode. The last of the three Lords of Hell is Mabelode, also known as Mabelode the Faceless. There have been no accounts of anyone actually seeing his face, as he is reported to always walk in shadow. While in some realms he is called the King of Swords, it is unclear whether these titles reveal a certain hierarchy within the unholy trinity. What is clear, however, is that Mabelode, Ziambarg, and Ariok are the most powerful and most feared among the Chaos Lords. In recent history, there has been only one mention of an incident involving Mabelode, with the incident occurring a number of years ago in the distant land of Tamriel to the west of Mirian. It was said that a plague befell a major city there, Winterhold, and its Diziand prayed to their own gods to no avail. The plague had spread through a number of city districts, and the guard had quarantined those who were ill. When the local gods didn't respond, it was rumored that Winterhold turned to Lord Arkan of Law, but he too declined to respond. In desperation, and as the story goes, they called upon Mabelode to rid them of the plague, and Mabelode answered their prayers with an earthquake that collapsed the majority of the city into the sea and killing most of the inhabitants. These are, of course, rumors, but none have dared to call upon Maywillow since. Other Chaos Lords. Excuse me if I get these pronunciations wrong. The other Chaos Lords, there are many Chaos Lords reported to have been worshipped and called upon for patronage in the time of recorded history. These include Vezhan, patron of Flum, Chardrose, the Reaper, Slotar, the Old, Pryray, the Tentacled Lord, Arenlu, the Keeper, Heidenburn, the Executioner, and Balin the Grim. These members of the Chaos Pantheon will be covered in Volume 2. Okay, and these just gives credits for, you know, the original author of this trilogy of excuse me, of works, because all this is based on some author in the 70s. I don't know, I've never even heard of these books until I started doing this mod. So, but this gives credit to him. Okay, so yeah, this has already gone over 15 minutes, so I'm gonna stop reading right here, and I'll pick up reading these other 2 volumes in episode 3. Thanks for watching, everyone, and I'll see you guys later.